Hello everyone, we're MossCharmly.
Today we're going to show you how to make and use pattern brushes in Krita.
We're going to start by altering the screen tone brush preset, which you can find in your brush preset docker. If you go all the way up to this all drop-down menu, you can either find it in ink or textures. We like textures.
We do, we like to use textures, and then we go into screen tone pressure, and that's the brush we're going to edit from.
So we're going to go up to the brush editor, which is this little squiggly line with 3 lowercase i's laying on their side. Select that, and here we go. This looks very complicated. It is, but if you just follow what we're doing, it's not going to really matter.
It'll seem much
It'll
less complicated.
Yeah.
We're going to go down here to pattern, and it's clicked, so we know it's working. Then we're going to go to texture, the texture tab right here.
And these are all the pre-installed textures that Krita comes with. Now there are some that we've imported ourselves, which we will show you later how to do that yourself. But right now we're going to pick the tree bark that is already inside of Krita.
Yeah, this is already in Krita, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go in options, here the options tab, and this is where you can edit the size of the pattern itself, and you can test it too on the scratch pad. So say you're testing it on the side, you're like, oh, it's a little too small. Here, using scale here is where you can alter the sizes, so you can make it bigger if you like.
And you can test it too on the image that you want to test it on.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is go down to the bottom there, and test, click on temporary save tweaks to presets. So now you can go and test the scale of the tree.
Let's see.
Let's see. So close that, and then
here we already had here, and then
so now it's turned off, and we're going to use the tree test layer that we created, and we're going to see what it looks like. And there you go.
Oh, it's good.
There you go.
So this is really neat. It shows you how just showing you how you could sort of do that little test.
Yeah. There you go. And like if the trees are, in the background, and you can adjust all of these textures to suit your needs. So that's really kind of nice to do.
Yeah.
Now this is like, not the only texture you can import. We're just showing you that you can use tree, bark, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and say you like what you've got.
Right?
Say you like this, and you're like, oh, I want to make this a brush itself. Go back to the brush editor here, and it's still on the bark texture. So because we had it temporarily save tweaks to preset.
Yeah.
So we're going to make this into a brush itself.
Yeah. It's going to be a permanent brush that you can have in your libraries.
Yeah.
Because now that you like it.
So to do that, we're going to go to Save New Brush Preset up here. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to load it from Icon Library.
Exactly.
So to do that, and then let's say we want to make it
a texture. This is kind of like the one with the little, that's a transparent, or the little polka dot one, whatever you feel comfortable using.
Yeah.
And you press OK, right? And then you can actually give an example of that texture in here. So you want to keep it inside there, and you've got yourself the texture.
A cool texture.
Yeah. But we do recommend saving it as a completely new name,
yes,
or a new brush.
Completely.
That's the biggest part of this.
Yeah. So how about like Krita, or how about tree bark Krita?
There we go.
And then you can just, now that you have a new name, now definitely save it.
Yes.
So save. And now you've got a new brush.
Exactly. And you can find it in the dockers if you go all the way up to all, and then you can type it in the search bar below at the bottom of the docker. And it's called tree bark something.
There it is, tree bark Krita.
And you can assign it to your favorites if you press the right mouse.
Click, your right mouse button. And then you can assign it to tag, and you can assign it. We have one here for textures.
So you can add it to textures.
Let's add it to textures. So now
open up that.
When you open,
there you go.
There.
And now we have it. There you go.
Very cool. You just made your own brush.
Yeah. And you can do this with many different textures you want.
Yeah.
So this is just one way of actually creating a textured brush. We do have other options, and we're going to show you that now.
Yes.
So the first one is importing an image that you have.
Yes.
You know,
like
something
a
that you
photo.
can, yeah, that's yours, that you want to make, you know, something that is brand new to Krita and your art. So we do like altering the screen tone presets. So you want to select that again.
Select that screen tone pressure brush again. Go back into the brush editor button.
And don't worry, it's all set up so that it was just like you used it to modify and create the bark tool, the bark brush.
And you can always, this is, it sort of rehashes back to what the brush was. So just press that and it resets it to exactly what it was.
It's perfect.
So
start from scratch.
Yeah. So now you're back in the brush editor under pattern and go into the texture tab, back where all the textures are. And right here next to the trash can, you'll find this button.
That's import.
This is the import resource button. So you just click on that. And this is where you can upload any file you may have. Like if it's a photo.
You took it on your walk or whatever. Yeah, this is where you can put it. We do recommend creating a file for all of these references. And we called ours texture references. Just an option. You can call it any one you want. But just basically make sure you put everything in a place that's easy for you to find. So there. We did it.
So we're going to click one of the ones that we've taken a photo of and we're going to press open. Now since we've already imported these things, we're going to show you that's all you had to do.
So yes, and then
press yes because it'll just rewrite it.
Yeah.
But you'll have it fresh. So here we have other ones we've made. Let's see, I'm gonna have to look for it.
I think we did trees too. So
yeah,
we
did
imported
trees.
One,
these are the ones that we've
did.
had of trees that we've done. We're gonna show you those too.
Yeah.
Because why not? So here's one we have of our own tree bark texture.
And you'll notice that it's in color, but when you go to use it as a texture, these are really set up for screen tones. So it's going to make it monochromatic, you know, so it'll actually be gray, you know, or black, and, you know, different shades of black, basically, and gray.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, and here, okay, I'm gonna press this trash can to start over on the scratch pad.
And that's in color too.
These are the ones that we've uploaded. So you could see, if you don't like the size, you could always change that size again in options and under scale. So you could just change it here and test out a size you like.
Exactly.
So now that you have that, you can actually, now that you have it to what you like, let's save this as a brush itself.
Exactly.
So to do that, we go to Save New Brush Preset up on the top here. We're going to load from icon library. We're going to scroll down, 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 and we're going to use the little texture pattern. You can use whatever you really like.
Krita always makes this the texture sort of preset.
Yeah.
So if you know it's a texture, just easy for your icons.
We've gotten used to it if you like it. And then now you can show an example of the brush you made.
Exactly.
So you'll know what it is.
What it is. And then you definitely have to rename it.
Oh,
again,
yes.
so,
Please rename your brush.
Always, because you'll overwrite one, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, so we'll call this Steel Grate.
Ooh, could we call it Krita Steel Grate?
Ah, yes.
I think, or did you do Steel Grate Krita?
We used Steel Grate
I'm
for
sorry.
the other one. We used Krita
Yeah.
because that was already in Krita pattern,
Right.
already in. So
So-
this one we're going to just call it Steel Grate.
Krita. Is that okay? Or did
Yeah,
we?
why not? I don't-
Yeah, you're right.
it's in
Sorry.
Krita,
There
but
we go.
whatever works. You can really name it anything. So we're going to call it Steel Grate Krita, and we're going to press save.
Save. Now you've done it again.
And now you've done it again.
But with your own image.
Yes.
And that's really important.
Your own picture.
To find it again, you want to go all the way into all, and you can look for it too. So you called it Steel Grate Krita.
Yeah.
Perfect. And we
And
did
see?
one before, which called it Steel Plate the first
Screen
time
tone,
we tried
yeah.
this out. So yeah.
So this is the new one, and you'll have your own brush. So right click again to assign it to a tag, and then
put it
you
in
can
textures.
put it in textures. And now when you go back to textures, it will be there.
It's there. You made it.
And you did that.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Right?
There is a third version.
Oh, the second way.
Or sorry, there's a second way to create these. And it uses the wraparound tool to create a seamless pattern. So in order to actually create the actual texture template, you actually have to create a texture.
Yes.
So you want to go up to File, and you want to go into New, and then you want to go down to Texture Templates, which is down at the
Right
bottom.
here.
And the first option is Texture 1024 by 1024 8-bit sRGB.
Yeah, this is the one we're going to choose. Krita gives you a lot of options for this, but this is just the one we're going to choose.
Easy one to use.
First one.
Exactly.
So we're going to click Use this template, and it's going to give us this square.
Yeah.
So here we
Now,
go.
what you're going to want to do is, for example, we're going to recreate the steel grate brush, but we're going to import the image itself. So if we can open up, go into File, New, or File, Open, sorry. And then we're going to find the steel grate itself that we tried. So if we actually select one of whatever one there, that's good. And we go Open. What happens is it creates it, it opens it up in a brand new image. So what you want to do is you want to copy this. So you want to, select it and copy the layer.
You can either right click or use hotkey. You could also
Go back into your template. Exactly. Sorry.
Yeah, you could also just and then go back to you could also go to edit
and paste it.
Yeah,
You could,
paste.
exactly. Now you paste it. Now it's a different size that you'd really want because it's smaller than the template. So you do want to actually go into the adjust this one. Yeah.
This button right here, which is the sort of move tool. It's the
a transform tool.
layer. Yeah. And you can hold down Shift if you want to make it. Hold down Shift on your keyboard, and then you can use the move tool, and it will alter the picture, making sure nothing's warped.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where all the magic happens.
Yeah.
So what we are going to show is how to basically create a new layer and trace over this so that you can create that seamless pattern.
Yeah.
So in your layers,
Kind of making your own drawing from it.
That's
so
exactly, yeah.
Kind of really cool. So
select that background that you used and you want to drop that opacity down. We definitely think that. There you go. And then we'll go back to that paint layer.
That you just made.
And and you want to find a brush that you're comfortable using and drawing with. So, we happen to like a lot of the sketch brushes.
Yeah, they're really cool. So they have a really good texture and they're just fun to use. So we're just gonna click one.
Well, we gotta select, make sure
Make
your
sure you're on the
brush tool
brush
is
tool.
selected, and also make sure you're using black
Yeah.
as your color. Now this is where it gets really interesting. If you actually go up to the toolbar at the top, you're gonna hit this. This is actually the wraparound tool. It's like a cubist pinwheel. Just open that up. And you're gonna notice that if you zoom out, you can see how the pattern isn't seamless.
Yeah.
So we're gonna trace this to make it seamless. We're gonna alter it by drawing over it. So it's easier to actually make sure that the image that you're using is centered in the screen, so it's easier. There you go. Awesome. Now you want to go back and turn that pinwheel back on so you can see the full effect of what you're about to do.
Yeah. Now make sure you're on that layer over it. Make sure you're on the brush tool and start tracing.
Exactly. Now it may take some time, so this is kind of like where it's a labor intensive moment, but in the end you can actually create your own texture by modifying this image and tracing over what it is. Now you could use many different patterns or anything that you really want, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because what this is about is just trying to create that seamless, pattern. And always know that you can draw over the edge of the pattern itself to create, something that will mimic it or mirror it on the other side. And that's the beauty of using that wraparound tool. So yeah. So this will take a long time.
Yeah,
just to let you know.
It's taking a while, but you can, we've already done this in different ways. So just to let you know, so it's not, it doesn't take too long. You could also change brushes and
different effects.
add different effects to it. So you're not limited to anything really. You just, as long as it creates a pattern you really like too. So you can really go with more detail and have fun and shade and do a lot of cool things with it.
Yeah.
So just to let you know. So And for fun, like we could just add a heart to show like this is another pattern we've made.
Exactly. And you can create this, modify this. You can even create different layers and move things around on those layers, which is really cool. But in this case, we just wanted to show you an example of tracing this and making sure that it is actually a seamless pattern.
Yeah.
In order to really make sure that, you know, to sort of double check your work, what you really want to do is you also want to toggle off and on this to see if it actually has what you want it to look like. Now, if you turn off the image you're tracing from, you know,
the background,
make it invisible,
you can
definitely see what it is.
Yeah.
Now, this is very crude, just as an example for this video, but we have created ones of our own, you know, differently, which we will show you later. But once you have created this pattern, now what do you do with it, right?
So you like this.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to, I would recommend turning off toggle off the wraparound mode.
And then you want to save this.
Yeah.
So you file, save as, and you're going to want to actually give it a name. So let's just call it
Heart's Great.
There we go.
Heart's Great. Heart's Great.
Exactly. Now make sure it's saved in your texture references, and you have to alter the file format.
We recommend PNG.
Yeah.
So scroll down and go to PNG image. So PNG.
Yep. And press save. And it's going to say you're going to lose some information, but it's okay. It actually keeps it pretty good. So press OK.
Press OK.
There you go. Now it's actually saved as an image, and you're going to import this into the textures. So we're going to go back to the tool that we like to modify all the time.
Yeah, we're going to go into textures. We like to modify the screen tone pressure brush. So we go back into the brush editor too.
Yeah. And we go into textures, and notice it's going to be the one that you created last time, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Because it temporarily saves stuff, and it's okay, so don't worry. Go into textures, and then you're going to go all the way down to that import image, or it's the import tool. And we've created one that's much more defined and much more realistic.
Yeah, this is pencil grade one. Yeah. We've already imported it, and that's pretty cool. So we're going to import the new one too. We just made. So and then we'll press open, and it will just add another brush.
Yeah.
So add another pattern.
You gotta find it.
It's there, and there you gotta find it. So here's the one we just made. You can start new on the sketch pad here on the side. Just to show you. And just to show you what it would look like. Yeah. And see, you can alter it too. Like I'm pressing harder, it's awkward. So you can change it up in the options and do size and change the scale.
Here we go.
So
we should change it to the one that actually looks a lot more defined.
Yeah, that's even nicer. So we'll go back to texture. Yeah. And the one that we spent more time on is all the way down right here.
There we go.
This one, and see, this one's a bit big. So we're going to go to options. We're going to go to scale.
No, it's even bigger.
It's even bigger. And then we're going to scale it down.
Exactly.
And it's smaller. And see, if your brush is kind of funny, you could change the brush tip. So we recommend sometimes change the brush tip
diameter,
size.
Exactly.
So maybe you want to make it a little bigger so it doesn't
max out.
Yeah.
And these are pressure sensitive. So the lighter you press, the lighter the pattern will be. And the harder you press, the darker the pattern will be. Yeah. So that's just something to keep in mind. And now you actually have to go through the same process if you like this, and you save it.
Yeah. So now let's go with that. It's not too bad.
No, it's good.
Okay.
So we're going to save this brush, and it's the same process as before. Load from Icon Library, and scroll all the way down to the Krita pattern signifier, I guess you want to call it.
Press OK.
There we go.
And then
give it a little example. See, it's cool. And then definitely make sure you want to save this as a completely different brush.
Different name.
Call this, what do you want to call this? Steel grate or diamond plated?
Steel grate pencil. Steel grate graphite. Steel grate graphite. That sounds cool.
That's a good one. That is a good name.
So we're just sounding cool. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll just save it.
Save. There we go. And now you can find it again in
Go back to all.
brushes.
Try to find it in the search.
Steel grate.
Steel
we
grate
did it.
graphite.
Nice.
We'll click on it and then right click with your mouse.
Assign it as a
Assign to
tag.
tag. Textures.
Textures. We'll go into the texture drop down.
And there it
There
will
we
be.
go. Look at that. And you've created this. So this is a really good example of the fact that you can make so many different, different patterns that you can use in your comic or even in just an illustration.
You can add any texture you want and it just sort of adds to your art and
There we
makes
go.
it fun. So we hope we've helped you out and make you feel more comfortable experimenting in the Krita brushes, in the brush editor,
Exactly.
and make your own cool brushes.
So
and
there you go.
patterns.
Skies are the limits.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah. Okay. We hope this helped everybody out.
Yeah. MossCharmly out.
Thanks everybody.